Welcome back to La Posta. Today, I want to talk to you about cheese. We have so many fantastic cheese dishes in the restaurant because there's such a big Italian influence in Argentina that cheese is, well, it's everywhere. And if you're coming to La Posta with steak in mind, then you might be surprised to hear that we have a cheese dish that pairs perfectly with the steak. Stick around until the end to hear about that one. Lots of our cheese dishes could actually be eaten as a main course because the portion is so big. Of course, we have them in the menu as a starter because steak is the main course in a steakhouse. But if you're a non meat eater, then we actually have lots of options, usually with cheese in, that would suit you as a main course. One of them is this delicious goat's cheese and onion omelette. Freshly made to order, the onions are sauteed together with some goat's cheese, cherry tomatoes, and of course the eggs. One of the starters that I absolutely love. The mozzarella cheese in breadcrumbs is also a really good sharing starter and it's actually quite complicated to make. We portion the mozzarella cheese and then it's covered in breadcrumbs 2 or 3 times to give it a nice coating. Then it's fried and it's served with a really rich tomato and garlic sauce. Kids love this dish. It's a really delicious dish, quite filling. Again, something that you would be sharing in La Posta. One thing guests love to do in La Posta is actually come and not have a steak and instead enjoy a nice bottle of wine with one of our cheese and cold cut selections. We have two sizes for the cheese and cold cut selections, and these are abundant. Not like when you go to some other restaurants and you get like a tiny bit of cheese. You get a really good selection of cheeses, a nice selection of cold cuts, and they just pair perfectly with a nice glass of Malbec red wine. Cheese is also a key ingredient in our pizza-style schnitzel, the Milanesa, a very famous dish in Argentina. And basically, it's the sirloin steak or the chicken breast in breadcrumbs, topped with tomato and melted cheese. But what about the cheese and steak thing I mentioned at the beginning? Well, steak is definitely what we are most famous for in La Posta. But adding a side of baked cheese might be the dream pair that you're missing in your life. The provoleta baked cheese is super famous in Argentina and you'll find it on many menus over there. It's hot, melty, delicious cheese and it just pairs so well with the steak. If you love steak in La Posta and you haven't tried this combination yet, then I definitely recommend it.